What's up, Benji? Quick demo for you for your corn horn that you made. I was very honored to be able to do this for you. I know that you're an installer and you haven't had anything done in a couple of years. And I know you got burned, a few years ago. So with all that wrapped into one, I was very honored to do this. So I appreciate you trusting me with your saber. I hope that you like the way it came out. Let's get into it, right? I installed this with a Proffie V2. You supplied all the parts. So it's got a Proffie V2. It's got a removable chassis. It's a 2-button setup. So top button here is going to be your activation, and your bottom switch here, that's your auxiliary. You've got CCSabers LEDs in there. What did I do to the outside? I did do a few things, but they're just minor things. In order to get these two switches to fit together and in the holes here, I put one in just fine, but the other one didn't want to go. So I had to file down the side of that switch so that I could get it to sit right here alongside the other one. It's not even anything that you'll ever see unless you take these switches out. I made sure that all my filing and stuff was not noticeable, but I did have to do that. These guys sit very tight up against each other, and I did manhandle the second one in there a little bit to make sure that it fit. I had originally designed this chassis for you. I designed a set of 3 chassis, and this being one of them. When I got this today, I realized I needed to shorten down the one chassis a bit. So I did do that. I reprinted it. It was very tempting to put something on your chassis, but I didn't do it. I printed it exactly the way it was, just shorter. I did take out your chassis retention. So you had a chassis retention set screw right here. You don't need it. I'll send it back with you in case you want to use it. That's fine. I'm actually using the pommel that you made for chassis retention. I lined all this up to where this actually pushes the chassis in, and we'll go over that. Clamp card here is just for aesthetics. Your switches are here. So let's take this guy out. So as you know already, but for people who are watching, this bolt right here, this screw right here, that's your pommel retention. So we'll just loosen that up like a half turn. This thing will come right out. I've got it on a spring basically. So this springs out, comes out just like this. Now this chassis is tight. This is tight. This is a cram-fu install. This has just like been a week for cram-fu installs. I'm surprised it all fit, which is even funnier when you think about it, because that's the exact same thing I say to your mother every night. Okay, so anyway, you get that off, you're gonna have to cup your hand and just kind of hit it once or twice, and it'll pop out just like that. Then your chassis comes out. Sorry, I'm sorry. I've been thinking about that for a while. Your Proffie board's on top. Now, it is just a press fit down into the shelf. I didn't adhese it in any way. If that's something that you want to do in the future, you can. Everything kind of holds together when it's in the saber, even though this was a super tight install. You could see I took the bottom of the battery material out for the battery cradle so that I could fit the board in. SD card is just right there. I had to snake the speaker wires up on top and right in between the SD card and the bottom of the board to get it out of the way of the battery. And then I've got as much as those wires as I could in this space right here, so that they weren't resting underneath the board. I had them resting underneath the board originally, and the battery wouldn't fit into the saber. So, sorry, I'm still on your mom. Literally. So, everything fits good now, right? I did go ahead and finish down your chassis. I didn't think I was going to be able to do that. I typically like to finish I like to put a finish on these chassis. Didn't think I was going to be able to do that with this guy, but because of the way everything fit and the snugness of it, I was able to go ahead and put a finish on it for you. So you've got a 28mm dark side speaker in here. Spring side, your negative. Don't ever put your battery in backwards, right? I'm going to take the sticker on the battery, and I'm going to put it towards the inside of the chassis. Just like that. So now you don't see the sticker. If you've got one where the sticker's off, that's even better, but I don't like taking the stickers off. So that's what we've got right here. Now, as far as motion controls, You requested to only have twist off, so that's what you've got. You're gonna need to use your switch to turn this guy on, all right? So now I'm gonna take this guy. I'm considering the top of the saber, where the clamp card is. You can put this in any way. I'll just put it in here like, let me show you this first. If you can see your 14 pins in there, those will never come out. As you know, the holder for those pins, it's about that long, and it's about right here, from here to here. So one side has your Smuggler's Outpost 14 pins, and then the other side is holding your CCSabers. Okay, and that is locked in. I actually put an 832 set screw in this hole that you had in here already, and that's what's holding that guy in place, so you don't want to mess with that. I've got it clocked correctly and right where it needs to be. So now when we go to put this guy in, it's tight, but it goes. We'll push it all the way in like that. You can push it as far as you can with your finger. Now this is where I said you don't need your chassis retention, because everything's so tight. And this guy, when it presses up against the speaker, it actually presses up against the side of the speaker and not the speaker drum. So there's no sound distortion and you don't lose any loudness. So when I put that in there like that, if I go like that, you can see it bounce up and down, right? So it's bouncing on those 14 pins right now. So what I like to do is I'll just come in here with my thumb. I'll press that all the way down, and then I'll come in and I'll tighten that pommel cap retention that you've got right here. Doesn't take much. Just like that. Now it's all locked in. So I can come over here about activation. Super loud. Auxiliary. And we got twist off. I bumped up your sensitivity to about a 3.6 on this guy because his saber's so small and the chassis itself is so small and everything is so close together. I didn't want any vibrations setting off any false clashes or anything like that. So when you go to twist this guy off, it's going to take a little bit because your sensitivity is up. All right, so we'll throw a blade in it. Takes a 1-inch diameter blade. And we'll lock this guy down. I put all your fonts on here. I gave you the 7 that you sent me. I gave you a few from Preston over at Syndicate Sound Fonts. He said it was cool, so I threw my Predator one on here just so you could play around with it. You got battle mode. So with battle mode, you hit the saber and it initiates blade lockup, and it'll stay that way until you pull away from it. So if I hit this guy, you can see that blade lockup right here. And then I pull away from it. And if you didn't want to twist off, so if you do it fast, no problem, right? But if you didn't want to twist it off, just tap the button. And that turns it off as well. And I got a little bit of a pre-off there for you. So to get to your sound fonts or the tracks on each sound font, hold down your power for a second and let go. Whoops. Let's try that one more time. There we go. Now you can turn this on and do whatever you want to do when the soundtrack's playing. And then turn it off is the same way. Hold it for a second and let go. And then that's it. And then to go to your next sound font, we'll just tap the auxiliary. Oh, whoops. I forgot you don't have swing on. I'm so used to swinging these guys on. So you requested blue, a blue blade. I gave you blue on most of these. Also a silver. So here's your silver blade. A little bit of unstable, not too bad. I hope you don't mind. A little bit harder to see the blade lock up on a silver blade. I gave you Ancient Integration from Preston. I'll let you play with that. Boona Champ.
The Dark Wraith.
This is Dark Wraith. You can see that blade lock up. This thing's super loud. I forget which one this one is right offhand. You gave me a bunch. Looks like I mislabeled a font, so I will go back and fix that. I wanted to get this video made for you. And that's getting pretty late here, so I'm getting the evil eye about working so late. But now we're into the stock fonts. I just left these on here for you just in case you want to play with them, right?
Smooth gray. Rogue Commando.
Rainbow Blade. Oh no, this is not the one. My least favorite blade, that one hurts.
Team C. Smooth Jedi.
Battery meter. So that battery about halfway full. I haven't charged it yet, it's brand new. And then we're back to your Corran horn. Just like that. So we'll take the blade out. I will go back and rename that sound font that I missed before I send this out to you, obviously. We'll take this blade out. Your blade retention is right there, right? That's what we're using. And then we'll come through to take the battery and everything out. We'll just do the same thing. So I did take the set screw out of here. We'll loosen this. This thing pops out. It's on those 14 springs. So when you loosen that guy, it almost wants to shoot out. I hold it with my pinky so it doesn't go anywhere. And then come back in here and pop this out. It'll come out to about right there. Pretty snug with the battery, but it's not bad, right? Comes out just like that. And then from the positive side, you can come in right with your finger and pop this guy out. No problem. So, that's your saber. Let me know if you got any questions. I hope that came out the way that you wanted it to. After I fix this sound font that I mislabeled, if you don't have any questions or if you're happy with your saber, I'll make sure to get it out in the mail tomorrow. Thanks, buddy.